So while our Pleasantdale students did recognize it and had an opportunity to partake in the fundraising or the financial aspect of it, that there may have been other elements that they did not partake
Oh,
in.
absolutely.
Elements that might have been defined by the high school and the way that they were orchestrating the entire fundraising event. So
But at the-
is that
at the-
kind
If you look at their
But at
shirts,
the
they
end
have
of the
all the
day-
schools
right,
with
but at the end of the
Pleasantdale.
day, it
Bottom
sounds
line.
like it was left up to, according to the email that I'm reading here,
Mm-hmm.
okay? Sounds like that it was left up to Mrs. Collins and the student council. So it's almost like we're blaming the student council for not making this choice.
But did-
And I guess my only question, and you don't have to answer it, and I'm not here to belabor this, but in all honesty, and this is going back a couple of years now, you seem to have like a hatred of the school,
I don't.
an anger of the Board of Education, despise the administration. At the end of the day, you and I do not need to be friends. We don't have to agree on every topic, but I would at least, at a minimum, expect to have to respect you, and you respect me and respect the board. And might I just suggest that from now on, whether it be the ERO issue, okay, or this issue, that you just gather all the facts before reporting to the public, because ill typically has come out of each of those items. And it's not good, and I mean, at the end of the day, at a minimum, you and I are working together for the next 2 years, at a minimum. And I would just ask that, again, we don't have to agree on everything. I'm not asking for that. But I am asking that we respect one another. And right now, I can go back to the slanderous statements made against me when I was running for school board 2 years ago. Okay?
right now.
There's no respect,
really know-
thoroughly
I'm not even gonna go
understood.
there.
I'm just
Please
stating,
focus.
that we gather all the facts before we start reporting
And I think
things.
that is a reasonable request of all of us as board members.
Additionally, I'd like to bring up about this, though, is that we did raise, $7,000 for the American Cancer Society, so I think that there was a valid charity that was chosen for them to do, to work for, and I think to ask a community to do both, especially for a school that's as small as ours, I think could have been difficult for us to, you know what I mean? I mean, you're not gonna, balance out. You're not gonna be able to, unless you divided it and did 3,500 here.
And I gotta tell you, I'm thoroughly impressed by this. And I
That's- I
have a
know.
daughter at the school, and I didn't know this happened. I didn't know any of this was going on, except, after the fact, obviously. So again, it comes back to, we do so many great things, we need to make sure we put it out there.
But if a choice is made to not do something, I don't know that we should be ostracized, for doing it. Patty, you started to interject.
I feel at least perhaps a apology could be written to the Grange Patch. I don't think that's out of the question to ask.
Okay, anything else on this topic? Okay. On that, action items tonight. The first one is to approve update of Iowa Test of Basic Skills, ITBS 2011 norms for the 2011-12 school year.
So moved.
Could you
I
read it?
recommend that the Board of Education approve updating the Iowa Test of Basic Skills, ITBS, from 2005 norms to 2011 norms, beginning the 2011-12 school year.
It has been moved and seconded that the Board of Education approve updating the Iowa Test of Basic Skills, ITBS, from 2005 norms to 2011 norms, beginning the 2011-12 school year. Roll call?
Mrs. Essig?
Yes.
Mrs. Hope?
Yes.
Mr. Mirably?
Yes.
Mrs. Nelson?
No.
Mrs. O'Halloran?
Yes.
Mrs. Tegmeyer?
Yes.
You forgot my name? It's okay. Yes, ayes have it, motion carries. May I have a recommendation, please, to approve curriculum assessments?
Can I just clarify? That's just the assessments, that's not the statement for the mastery retakes.
As I'm reading this, it is
Correct.
the revised
Yeah,
comment.
that's a good
sections.
clarification. It's not.
Okay, can I also make a recommendation that this be modified to include with periodic reviews to be determined by the Board of Education prior to the beginning of the school year? Because we did talk about either 5 minutes each month, whether we need it or not, or quarterly, you know, et cetera. So if we can just approve this with periodic reviews.
On a
Just
regular
leave-
basis?
Pardon me?
On a regular basis?
Correct, and that regular basis can be determined next month or the month after, because it could either be the 5 minutes each month or the quarterly. So I don't know which, you know, we'll come out with, but,
Okay.
you know,
That's good.
So, make that recommendation. And I second it?
I thought I just did that.
Okay,
but
now
I'll
second
repeat.
it.
No.
No.
Could I have somebody
I
please
think
make
so.
a recommendation?
Okay, that the
of the
Board of
motion in its
Education,
entirety? Thank you.
can I make a recommendation? that the- That the Board of Education approve implementation of revised common assessments beginning the 2011-12 school year, comma, with periodic reviews to be determined by no later than the August 2011 Board of Education meeting.
To
Second.
be determined by the Board of Ed.
To be determined by the Board of Ed, though.
Oh. I'll
Remove the
second it.
word though.
Yeah, but I gotta repeat it. Hold on.
Oh, okay. Take out the thought.
No, it should be injected in the middle.
I had at the end with periodic reviews on a regular basis
Well, we got more.
to be determined at the,
Such basis to be determined.
I just leave it at that, to be determined. I'd like to get the, ask the
Okay.
teachers when they think that they'll be ready.
All right, then we gotta start again from the beginning. Mark, you are asking that we not associate a date with it because you would like the teachers to be able to have an opportunity, and we want to be back in school for that to happen. So Mark, you're asking that the motion only say with periodic reviews to be determined by the Board of Ed? Or just with periodic reviews to be determined, period?
Yeah, I would leave it at that because I need to find out from the teachers when they're going to have sufficient information, experience with using these to bring it back that they have something to say.
Right.
So, Mark Moraboli, would you restate the motion, please?
That the Board of Education approve implementation of revised common assessments beginning the 2011-12 school year with periodic reviews to be determined.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that the Board of Education approve implementation of revised common assessments beginning the 2011-12 school year with periodic reviews to be determined. Roll call?
Mrs. Essig?
Yes.
Mrs. Howe?
Yes.
Mr. Maraboli?
Yes.
Mrs. Nelson?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Halloran?
Yes.
Mrs. Tegmeyer?
Yes.
Mrs. Sedgwick?
Yes, ayes have it, motion carries. We'll move on to items for the next agenda. Okay, establish petty cash fund, summer academy update, written Mark in the July meeting. What will that one contain?
Enrollment information.
Okay. Hiring status report, which will be written. Review and approve employee and student parent handbooks. Remedial program evaluation. Declassify executive session minutes. District 2011-12 goals. Approve kindergarten reading program. I think we.
That would take that one, next
Take
one
that one
off.
off?
Yeah,
Okay.
we can do that.
So we'll take off the approval,
Right,
but I think we still need the agenda item.
Right.
Right, so we take off approve, leave mastery of learning guidelines.
Well, I would put that at the August meeting because then I can bring it back to, you directed me to bring it back to the
Yeah, when
curriculum
is the
council.
council,
August 15th, so.
okay, so we'll
We're
take
not
that off
approving anything
completely.
for it.
No. So that will have to be at the August meeting then.
Okay, and then there's, you want to finish that? Because there is one more as well.
Okay, review personnel section 5 and student section 7 board policies.
Correct, and then the other one would be, and this may be August meeting as well, level of detail to be, I don't know how to word it, but level of detail to be provided for the level 2, 3, and 4 with regards to the assessments. That would be, Leandra, in conjunction with what you had said about put in the little box at the top of the test, and
I think we need to get feedbacks from parents, but I